horror classics. At 13, The Exorcist made Linda Blair a star. But it was commercials like this that started something big for her.
Peppermint, spearmint, cinnamon, fruit.
I started working when I was 5. Mom had seen an article in a magazine talking about kids modeling, doing commercials. It was Life or Time, Look, I don't know. And she thought that we were all pretty vivacious kids, and so she got us started in New York with an agency. There were times I wanted to play and I couldn't play, but I understood. Don't ask me why. I think mostly what she was trying to explain is by going and doing and working, that is how you get where you want to go. Don't expect things to be handed. People aren't going to be there to hand you things. It wasn't like she beat me into doing it. She never did. She never said, you have to do this. Never. She coaxed me with ice cream, yodels.
It took a while, though, to catch on, because you go in first and you're like cattle calls. I'd pick her up from school, we'd go in and go on the interview, and then come home, get dinner, and bedtime, and up for school the next day. It took about a year, and finally, before she really got into the commercial bit.
Suddenly, the commute from her Connecticut home to New York paid off with this commercial.
The very finest Concord grape flavor you ever tasted. Now, to keep its fine vintage flavor, Welch's uses a special process to trap that flavor.
I never really had a chance to ever think about it. I worked enough out of the city that it kept snowballing, you know, and I just worked.
May I pick out my dolly back?
I was very successful at the commercials and modeling, which enabled me to save my money so that I could buy what I wanted most, my horses. Mom also explained when I was little, by doing that and saving your money, I can't send you to vet school. I wanted to be a veterinarian. She said, but you can.
Soon, Linda's piggy bank was overflowing, and horses were her indulgence. She recently returned home to the stables where she learned to ride. Mom always said when I was little I wanted to ride a camel. I bought my first pony when I was 10 on my birthday. My mother said I was, allowed to buy one at that age. She was a rich little girl who could do no wrong. She even made her movie debut in the short titled Rain, Go Away.
Rain, rain, go away.
I probably still had false teeth at that time. As a child, I always had false teeth, which most people don't know because kids lose their teeth. So that was also a fascinating point to some people, is that as a kid, I'd be sitting there talking away, and I'd be nervous, and I'd flip my retainer, and my teeth would come out.
But Linda's big break was just around the corner, a role she could really get her teeth into. At 13, The Exorcist shot Linda into stardom as moviegoers thrilled to its gruesome special effects.
Those weren't tricks. A lot of parents were afraid of it as well. And then there was the others who were just pushing and didn't care about their kids. And my mother knew me well enough to know psychologically I was always like this as a child. I was very stable. It didn't affect me. I had too many other things I wanted to do. My plans were to stop working about that time. Mom understood. She knew. I was tired. I was very tired. I've been working at that point 7 years, at least. And I wanted to do what I wanted to do for me.
Returning to the old high school today brings back bittersweet memories of going back after filming The Exorcist as an overnight star.
I was in 9th grade when I came back. They were very supportive. I'd been gone for a year. Now, that was the longest that I had ever been gone. I started dating the same guy I'd had a crush on since I was in 1st grade. I mean, it just went right back to all of that. And their reaction when the film, I believe, then came out probably in the end of 9th grade or 10th grade. So there was a good year that went by. They didn't know really what I'd been doing. Probably if they'd had any idea that that's what I've been doing, I would have blown them out of their socks.
Linda's success has finally given her the freedom to climb back into the saddle. Today, she's tackling new acting challenges and creating an altogether different look for herself.
I've had to make a lot of changes in my life. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. I'm 26.